All right, everyone. Welcome back to another Welcome to Normieville live stream. Now, I know I haven't done I actually haven't done a real live stream in probably ever since the channel inception. I did do a live stream a long time ago for the Super Bowl last year, the 49ers and the Chiefs, but I mean, that was, like I said, last year. And, this topic, I didn't want to do it in a short form video because the short form video would have been very long. And so I decided I would try my hand at live streaming. So that's where we're at today. Now, to go into, a short monologue, there have been a lot of lawsuits going on, right? Lawsuits between, you see the thing going on now with Jay-Z and Diddy. It's been a whole host of other lawsuits. I mean, right now, the lawsuits are going crazy. But I did not see this one coming right here, y'all. This thing with Skip Bayless. This thing here with Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor. I didn't see this one coming at all. And there are a lot of layers to this. I have the affidavit, which I will go through here in a little while. But I wanted to, go through the article first because there is an article that first broke the story. And then after that, I want to dive into the affidavit because that's where all the juicy details are. The articles don't do it justice, okay? It really doesn't. All of the details are in the actual affidavit. And that's what I want to get into, okay? So, again, if you are here, if you're watching this on a replay, again, thank you for your viewership on another episode of Welcome to Normieville. Okay? Thank you once again. All right. And if you happen to come in here late, okay, again, thank you very much. All right. Now, before we get started, if you want to contribute to the show, of course, you can hit the super chat in the live chat. If you don't want to do that, there's a Ko-Fi link that's pinned to the top of the chat. You can also hit me on Cash App, $Mr. Normie. All these links are pinned to the top of the chat. They're also in the description box for your leisure if you see fit to donate monetarily. If you don't, of course, your viewership is much appreciated, and you can also hit the like button. Okay? Now, before we get into the article in question by Front Office Sports, I want to go through the history of Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor and the show Undisputed as a whole. Now, Skip Bayless came from, of course, he was a beat writer and those kind of things, much similar to Stephen A. Smith. He was local, making it big. He had all the exclusives and all those kind of things, right? And then one day, he got on this show called Cold Pizza. Now, Cold Pizza was a show with, I believe, Stephen A. Smith, and they were doing their thing for a while. Let me pull this up real quick. It was a Cold Pizza. Now, let me share the screen here real quick. Now, the show Cold Pizza says Cold Pizza was an American television sports morning talk show that aired weekdays on ESPN2 from 2023 to 2007. It first aired October 20th of 2023 on ESPN2 in the beginning. Now, this is where Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith, first met. And this show right here did so well for the two of them. And if I'm not mistaken, Skip Bayless gave Stephen A. Smith his first, crack at, daytime commentary, because Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith both came from similar backgrounds. Okay. Stephen A. Smith trying to make his way into the business. And, I believe that Skip Bayless gave him his first crack at it, like I said. Now, there's a lot of history here, as you can already tell. You can feel free to Google this yourself if you will. But again, it did very well. And Cold Pizza went off in 2007. First take started in May 7th of 2007. when this went off. Now, we all know that First Take is doing extremely well. Even with Skip Bayless left, First Take is still, I would say, the top sports commentary show in the nation. Again, Undisputed had that spot for a while when Shannon Sharp was there. As soon as Shannon Sharp left, the ratings for Undisputed went in the tank. Now, Shannon Sharp left the show in 2000 and I believe, what was it? 2023. No, he left in 2023. Undisputed went off in 2024 because for Undisputed started in September 6th of 2016. Now, before that, Skip Bayless left ESPN in April of 2016. Him and Stephen A. Smith butted heads the same way that he butted heads with Shannon Sharp. And, well, Skip got his walking papers. And from there, you know what happens next. He gets the show, he gets on, and the rest is history. Undisputed takes off for what? 4 years? No, actually, you know what? 16. It did good for about 7-8 years. And, well, Skip Bayless had his run-ins with Shannon Sharp on numerous times. And, of course, the coup de grace of their rough, I guess, patches was the infamous Tom Brady argument where Skip Bayless went and insulted Shannon Sharp of his what can I say, his career, saying that, well, you all are jealous of Tom Brady because he lasted longer than you and he's got more accolades than you. I mean, putting him down. Let me go back to the main screen. I mean, putting the man down. It was bad. Okay. And, well, they had a heart-to-heart, no goodbye on the show. It was live. Shannon Sharp brought his daughter. They had cake and everything. He shed a few tears. They went on with the show. And the rest is history, okay? Since then, Shannon Sharp has gone on to have major success in the sports media world and in the interview space. Club Shay Shay has, over almost 3 million followers. You got Nightcap. He's got it with Ocho, and he also does it with the other basketball guy. I forgot his name. But he does it with the other. He has a very good show during football and basketball season. I think Nightcap has over almost 2 million followers. So he's doing great. Stephen A. Smith, his podcast just broke 1 million a few days ago. He did a video about that. On the other hand, the show Undisputed ended toward December of 2024. Skip Bayless has a podcast on YouTube called The Skip Bayless Show. It's barely about to touch 200,000 K followers or subscribers. And so Skip Bayless right now is trying to find his way. He's pretty much doing his own thing. He's laying low. And then, man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. And then yesterday, this comes up. Yeah, boy.
Enemy spotted.
Then this pops up. This from Front Office Sports. Skip Bayless and others sued on 14 counts, including inappropriate or sexual battery. The suit alleges Bayless offered the plaintiff $1.5 million to do the nasty with him, and that an FS1 exec grabbed her cake at a party. Okay. Now, by the way, Skip Bayless is married to Ernestine. Ernestine is a PR agent and a media relations expert. They've been married since 2016, right around the time that the show Undisputed started. Okay? So, yeah. If this is true, then Skip Bayless is, he's a nasty guy.
Enemy spotted.
Okay? And so, yeah, I don't know. And by the way, there's a part in here that's even more egregious than what Skip Bayless did. This is about Joy Taylor. Now, Joy Taylor started her career in Miami. Okay, let me go back to the main screen. Joy Taylor started off her career in Miami. She was a same thing. She was doing radio and all those kind of things for sports and all of that. Okay. And then after that, wait a minute. And then after that, she went and she got to Fox. But the way she got to Fox, or the way she got on the show of Undisputed, it is the part that everybody is like, I don't know, pretty bummed out about. Now, let me pull this up here. Hold on 1 second. Let me pull this up. Here's Joy Taylor's history. American media personality, television host for Fox Sports 1. She is now on Speak with Keyshawn Johnson. I've done several videos. You've seen her. She was on Undisputed with Skip and Shannon. And then she got the boot from there. Now, Joy Taylor is kind of like the other moderator for First Take. I don't think they really bring anything to the table. They're there to be contrarians and, to talk about, woman stuff. And every once in a while they have a nice joke and they dress nice. Okay. They're kind of the comedy relief. And again, they dress nice. So, not to be masculinist or nothing, but there's something to look at sometimes when they have particular things on. Okay. And so right here, career. Previously worked 3 years at 790 AM, The Ticket in Miami, where she began as the executive producer, became the co-host for the station's top-rated morning drive sports radio show, Zaslow, and Joy. She served as the host of Fantasy Football Today and Thursday Night Live on CBS Sports. Wow. Joy Taylor joined Fox Sports in March 2016, playing pitch hitter in several different FS1 roles, including filling for Christine Leah on The Herd with Cowherd on August 15th, 2016. It was announced by Fox Sports 1 that Taylor would be the moderator for Fox Sports 1's upcoming debate show, Skip and Shannon. And that is where the foolishness is going to start in the affidavit. She also hosts the Hang on Facebook Live and her podcast, Maybe I'm Crazy. In 2018, Fox announced that starting June 18th, she will be moving from Undisputed to The Herd with Colin Cowherd, also airing on FS1, along with Fox Sports Radio. On September 9th, 2021, it was announced that Taylor would be the host of her own Saturday program, The Joy Taylor Show on Fox Sports Radio. She began co-hosting Speak on FS1 on September 6th of 2022. That's also how she got on that show is another point in this whole affidavit, okay? So that being said, let's get to the article in question, all right? This is January 5th, 2025. You also already read the title. This is from Front Office Sports. It says here, a former Fox Sports hairstylist alleges in a lawsuit that a network executive used his quote-unquote his position to harass women, as well as that Skip Bayless touched her inappropriately and propositioned her for the nasty. Noshin Farahi, who says she worked at Fox Sports from 2012 through last August, made a series of allegations in a 42-page lawsuit, which we will read, obtained by Front Office Sports, Fox Sports, FS1, FS2, Fox Sports EV, Charlie Dixon, Bayless, and FS1 host Joy Taylor are listed as defendants in the lawsuit. Now, you might be asking, who is Ms. Farahi? Now, looking at that name, you might stereotypically think that this could be maybe an African woman or maybe a woman of, African-American descent. But in fact, she is not. This is, This is a Caucasian woman.
Hold up.
Yes. I looked it up. That's her right there. See that? Hairstylist at the center of blockbuster Fox Sports lawsuit involving Skip Bayless. Who is Ms. Farahi, the hairstylist at the center of blockbuster Fox Sports lawsuit involving Skip Bayless and Joy Taylor? A bombshell lawsuit naming former talent Skip Bayless, FS1 host Joy Taylor, in addition to a Fox executive, and the network itself was filed by hairstylist Ms. Farahi last week. Bayless, 73, is at the center of shocking allegations made in the 42-page lawsuit with Farahi, who previously styled his hair on Undisputed, accusing the former host of using his position to harass women and inappropriately touching her. Farahi also made further claims against Joy Taylor and Fox Sports executive president of content Charlie Dixon. Taylor is alleged to have used her sexual relationships with ex-co-star and co-host Emmanuel Acho and Dixon to further her career.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Wow. This is where Emmanuel Acho gets into it with Speak. Like I said, it gets really, 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 really bad. Okay? Let me see if I can scroll down and read a little bit more. You see her right there. That is Miss Farahi. Okay? Skip Bayless, of course. Skip. Ms. Farahi is a 706 roster union hairstylist based in Los Angeles with extensive experience in television, film, and commercials. Farahi, a single mother, currently works for a luxury hair salon, Vito Esposito, in the heart of Beverly Hills. Around 2010, she was introduced to Gail Berman, the former president of entertainment for Fox Broadcasting Company, and Dana Walden, the former CEO of Fox Television Group, through a colleague at a salon she then worked for. She began styling Berman and Walden's hair at their homes and on the premises of Fox. What was her role at Fox? Around 2012, Farahi was recommended to the network by a makeup stylist who would do makeup for Berman and Walden while Farahi styled their hair, according to her lawsuit. Now, I won't read any more about this because in the lawsuit, it gets all into that. So let's read the article real quick. In the suit filed Friday in Los Angeles, Farahi alleged that Dixon, the head of content for FS1, grabbed her buttocks at a birthday party in West Hollywood. When she relayed the encounter to Taylor, the Fox host allegedly told her to get over it.
Enemy spotted.
Now, why would somebody tell somebody to get over it? According to the lawsuit, why would somebody tell somebody to get over it? Probably because, for one, they don't want to be a part of it. Maybe they're scared. Maybe they're going through it themselves. And two, they're benefiting from said behavior and they don't want to say anything, so they want you to be quiet. And that way, they can continue to benefit from said bad behavior, which is, I believe, in the lawsuit or in the affidavit, that is exactly what Ms. Farahi is alluding to. That Taylor told her to pretty much shut up because Taylor was engaging in the bad behavior and everybody else thought that all the other women in the set were just going to go with it. And that's where Ms. Farahi comes in. The lawsuit seeks class action status on behalf of Farahi and other non-exempt Fox employees working in California over the past 4 years. Farahi seeks unspecified monetary damages and a jury trial. A jury trial. So she wants all the evidence laid out. She wants to make sure that her voice gets heard and that this thing, she gets her money, essentially. After starting work on Undisputed Morning show starring Bayless, the suit alleges he began giving Farahi lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast. The single mother alleges she repeatedly told Bayless she was not interested in him and did not date at work. She also claims she told Bayless she was suffering from ovarian cancer after developing issues with her left ovary in an effort to halt his advances. So she told Skip that she was having physical issues in order to get him to lay off. And well, of course, he did not. Instead, Bayless became more aggressive over the years, according to the suit. He allegedly offered Farahi, here we go. Wait a minute, let me get my cash register ready. He allegedly offered Farahi $1.5 million to have sex with him. $1.5 million. He offered her $1.5 million just to get in the bed and claimed he could change her life. Now, this is because, of course, she's a single mother. So he's saying, you know what, I can break bread with you to get that, and this money would change your life if you just do me that one favor. You know what I mean? Wow. The suit also claims Bayless accused Farahi of sleeping with Shannon Sharp, his co-star on Undisputed. So when she ignored his advances, Skip Bayless, that is, accused her of sleeping with Shannon Sharp. Now, that's cold. And you know what? That also kind of would make a little bit of sense of where the tension was starting to come from in the workplace if Shannon Sharp knew anything about this. Now, he did speak on it briefly on his show, Nightcap, and I'll get into that in another video, okay? Because he did mention it, and it was pretty brief. But we're going to get to that, okay? The suit alleges approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance to Ms. Farahi. Ms. Farahi responded, "Skip, stop. You have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Okay. I take back what I said a few minutes ago. I don't know if this woman is Muslim or not, but apparently she has a dad that is Muslim. Ms. Farahi responded that her father was dead, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. During her time at Fox, Farahi alleges she made multiple complaints to the Human Resources and Employee Relations departments. Meanwhile, the suit alleges Taylor began insulting Ms. Farahi on a personal and professional level after the friendship ended. The suit also alleges that Taylor mocked the English pronunciation of Farahi, who was of Persian descent. Oh, she's of Persian descent. Huh? Wait a minute. Oh, wow. Okay. All right. So, I'll read this last paragraph and then we'll get into the affidavit, all right? Her lengthy tenure at Fox Sports and not so thinly veiled references to multiple anonymous witnesses suggests that she may have the receipts to back up her version of the events. Daniel Walsh, a sports law attorney and co-host of the podcast Conduct Detrimental, quote, "Just as importantly, she contemporaneously raised these issues with co-workers, which in the juror's eyes could boost the credibility of these claims." Okay. So people have commented on this case, and they're saying that if she has the witnesses and the evidence to support this, she can get broken off in court. Okay? So again, I will leave a link to this in the description box after this is over. But let's get to the juicy stuff, the good stuff here, okay? Matter of fact, let me get back to the main screen, because what I want to do now is get to the actual affidavit, okay? It's a 42-page affidavit, and if you have time, if you're watching, if not on the replay, it's a 42-page affidavit. I'm going to go through most of it as much as I can, okay? So again, y'all watch this, all right? We're talking about Skip Bayless, Joy Taylor, and Mayu Acho in this case of the state of California versus Noshin Farahi, okay? Now, again, if you want to donate, the Ko-Fi link is at the top of the chat. You can also hit the Cash App, Mr. Normie, right? $ Mr. Normie, and you can super chat if you see fit. If not, if you would, please, this could also help me out. Please, if you don't mind, hit the like button, okay? That would be greatly appreciated. All donations, whether viewership, like, whatever, they're all greatly appreciated, okay? So, with that being said, let us get into the affidavit, all right? Let's go. Hold on, wait a minute. Let me get my music. Wait a minute before I get into it because I need to find. There we go. There we go. Let's get to it. The affidavit in question. This is the 42-page lawsuit. Superior Court of the State of California, County of Los Angeles. Noshin Farahi, individually and on behalf of others similarly situated. Plaintiff versus Fox Corporation, a Delaware corporation, Fox Sports Holding LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, Fox Sports 1 LLC, a Delaware limited liability company, Fox Sports 2 LLC, Fox Sports Production LLC, Charlie Dixon, Skip Bayless, and Joy freaking Taylor.
Hold up.
All right. Class action complaint. Failure to pay minimum wages, failure to pay overtime wages, failure to reimburse business expenses, failure to pay all wages upon separation, failure to furnish accurate itemized wages statements, unfair, unlawful, or fraudulent business practices. That's the class action complaint. Now, the individual complaints: sexual battery, hostile work environment, race, or national origin, also sex and gender, hostile work environment, disability, failure to prevent harassment, negligent supervision, hiring, and retention, retaliation, wrongful termination, demand for a jury trial. This is everything that she is alleging in her case. And these are all the people, the defendants in said case. And the plaintiff, of course, is Miss Farahi. Case number at the top. Y'all get it, right? Let's scroll down here. Let's see here. Comes now plaintiff Nosha Farahi, an individual, against defendant Fox Corporation and Delaware Corporation, defendants Fox Sports Holding LLC. Okay, blah, blah, blah. These are all the people that are named in the lawsuit, all right? Summary of action. Ms. Farahi brings forth the action because for over a decade at Fox, she was forced to endure a misogynistic, racist, and ableist workplace where executives and talent were allowed to physically and verbally abuse workers with impunity. When Ms. Farahi and others came forward to report the wrongdoing, instead of addressing their concerns, Fox retaliated against, I lost my place. Then while the perpetrators and those who protected them were inexplicably promoted. Bruh. This case thus represents yet another in a long line of cases chronicling the toxic culture at Fox, marked by bad faith promises and repeated failures to address a poisonous and entrenched patriarchy.
Hold up.
Patriarchy. There we go with that again, right? Ms. Farahi also brings forth an action on behalf of herself and Fox current and former non-exempt hourly employees employed in California, beginning 4 years prior to the filing of this complaint and ending on the date as determined by the court. Specifically, during the class period, Fox had consistent policy and practice of failing to pay employees all minimum wages, failing to pay employees all overtime wages, failing to reimburse employees for business expenses, failing to pay all wages upon separation, knowingly and intentionally failing to furnish accurate itemized wage statements. As a result of the above labor code violations, Fox committed unfair, unlawful, and fraudulent business practices in violation of California's unfair competition policy. Wow. California's unfair competition law. Well. There's a lot alleged in here. Okay? But we're going to get to all the good stuff. I'm going to read them. I'm going to keep going. We're on page 2 right now. It's 42 pages, all right? Again, if you're here listening, if you're watching, thank you for your viewership. It's much appreciated, all right? Let's go down to the parties, because this is a bunch of legal mumbo jumbo that I don't understand myself personally, okay? So let's get to the good stuff, all right? Ms. Farahi was a resident of Los Angeles for all times relevant during the events of this case. She was employed at Fox as a hairstylist on a part-time basis from approximately 2012 to 2016, on a full-time basis from approximately 2016 to August of 2024. Excuse me. All right. Let's get down here. Because where's the good part? Here we go. Defendant Charlie Dixon is the executive vice president and content for FS1, Fox flagship multi-sports national network, overseeing all content and production of the network. Mr. Dixon was, in July 2016, the very first significant hiring of former Fox Sports president Jamie Horowitz, who was determined from Fox due to reports of sexual harassment, who was terminated. At all relevant times, Mr. Dixon was an agent of Fox and had the authority to make decisions impacting Ms. Farahi's employment. Upon information and belief, Mr. Dixon is a resident of the state of California. Defendant Skip Bayless is a sports columnist, commentator, and television personality who worked on Fox shows Skip and Shannon Undisputed from 2016 to August of 2024. He got a big contract. Y'all remember that, right? 32 milli, 4 years when he got on. And well, now it's 2024, and now he's on YouTube, right? Okay. Here we go. While not currently named as defendants herein, Mark Silverman, president and COO of Fox Sports, and Eric Shanks, CEO and executive producer of Fox Sports, may become named defendants based upon discovery yet to be adduced in this action concerning their involvement with respect to Ms. Farahi's claims. On information and belief, Mr. Silverman and Mr. Shanks approved, were made privy to, or should have been privy to all significant employment decisions and personnel-related investigations related to misconduct and or harassment by Fox Sports executive and talent. So basically, this is saying that, you know what? These two individuals, Eric Shanks and Mark Silverman, were made aware of all of the improprieties, all the indiscretions that were going on in the company, and they essentially let it pass, okay? On further information and belief, Mr. Silverman and Mr. Shanks, along with Fox legal team, worked hard to protect their perpetrators by forcing individuals who were witnesses to or targets of misconduct. I'm right here at number 17, listen so I keep up, and or harassment to sign non-disclosure agreements upon separation of their employment. So these two individuals made people sign non-disclosure agreements when they left the company so that way they wouldn't say anything about the harassment that was going on. And well, we know what happens with non-disclosure agreements, right? Ask P. Diddy, ask Jay-Z about that, right? Ms. Farahi is ignorant to the true names, capabilities, relationships, and extent of participation in the conduct herein alleged. Oh, wait a minute. Of the defendants sued herein and does 1 through 25, but is informed and believed, and thereon alleges that said defendants are legally responsible for the wrongful conduct alleged herein, and therefore sues these defendants by such fictitious names. Ms. Farahi will amend this complaint to allege the true names and capabilities of the DOE defendants when ascertained. So they will make adjustments and amendments, or like you said, they're going to put the real names in here once they figure out more information, which people do not want that either. We're on page 4. In 2000, Ms. Farahi is hired to work at Fox. In 2003, Ms. Farahi began to work at Jose Eber Hair Salon, a sophisticated salon providing cutting-edge styling and coloring techniques and treatments to high-profile clients. Around 2010, Ms. Farahi was introduced by a coworker at the salon, Gail Berman, the former president of entertainment for Fox Broadcasting Company, and Dana Walden, the former CEO of Fox Television Group. All right, page 5. Shortly thereafter, Ms. Farahi began accompanying the co-worker to do Ms. Walden and Ms. Berman's hair at their homes and on the premises of Fox. Over time, and Ms. Farahi's co-workers became busy with other clients, he sent Ms. Farahi on her own to do their hair at their homes and on premises of Fox. Here we go. In approximately 2012, a makeup stylist who would do Ms. Walden and or Ms. Berman's makeup when Ms. Farahi worked on their hair recommended Ms. Farahi work for a position at Fox. Fox then hired Ms. Farahi as a part-time employee. When hired, Ms. Farahi was asked to bring their own tools for her work. She would later discover that all her co-workers received a kit fee for bringing their own tools. However, she herself would not receive a kit fee until 2019. So this was from 2012 to 2019. Y'all do the math on that. She did not receive the fees that she was supposed to get. Approximately 7 years after she started working at Fox. In addition, while Ms. Farahi was a hair stylist, quote unquote, her supervisor, Gina Poretti, also required that she do the job duties of a barber, i.e. cutting hair. When Ms. Farahi complained to her union, they told her while cutting hair was not in her contract, Ms. Poretti was known to be difficult and was best just to comply with her request. According throughout her tenure, Ms. Farahi both styled and cut hair. So here we go. She's already getting freaking shorted, right? She's not getting her kit fee for bringing her own tools to work, and tools because she got to do her job, clippers, curling irons, whatever, right? Makeup, all that good shit. So she wasn't getting paid for her own stuff. And then they didn't want to pay her for doing the extra work of cutting hair because that wasn't in her description. She was supposed to be just styling hair, but then she started cutting hair. And they didn't want to pay her, right? They didn't want to give her just due. Figures, right? Here we go. Line 15, right here. In 2016, Fox hired Ms. Farahi as a full-time hairstylist. Mr. Dixon gives Ms. Taylor Undisputed as a reward. Oh boy. Okay. All right.
Enemy spotted.
Line 19. Here we go, y'all. In approximately March 2016, Ms. Farahi met Ms. Taylor, an aspiring sports personality that had recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles. Now, if you're just joining in, I give a backstory on Joy Taylor. She was a radio personality in Miami, and then she ended up getting picked up at Fox doing like stand-in hosting gigs for the show on the Herd with Colin Cowherd. And then eventually, which we're about to talk about here in a minute, she got promoted, right? She laid down to get up, right? That's how she got on Undisputed. We're going to talk about that here right now. She recently moved from Miami to Los Angeles for the opportunity of airtime at Fox. At the time, Ms. Taylor did not have a regular position, but would fill in on a day-by-day basis when talent was sick or otherwise missed time. Ms. Taylor told Ms. Farahi that she was recently wed, but her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles.
Enemy spotted.
Now, you might be wondering, let me go back to the big screen here. You might be wondering, Ms. Taylor was married at one point? You might not knew that. Well, let me find out here. Joy Taylor, because I got to pull this up because she was married at one point. Let me pull this up so y'all can see it. Y'all might not knew that, which I didn't know until I started looking at this, right? Here we go. Let me find it. This is from the Daily Mail. Check this out. Who is Joy Taylor? All you need to know about the Fox Sports host amid bombshell lawsuit. Now let's scroll down here a little bit to her dating life. Where she began her career. We don't care about that because y'all know that. How long she worked at Fox. Okay, wait a minute. Okay. All right, let's keep going. Does she have a partner? Taylor was previously in a relationship with former NBA player turned coach Earl Watson. She announced on The Herd in 2018 that the pair were engaged. Alongside her TV announcement, she posted a loving photo on her Instagram alongside the caption, "Mine Forever." This is the gentleman right here, Coach Earl Watson. Just over a year later, the couple split in November 2019, but it is unclear why. Taylor is not believed to be currently in a relationship, and that in 2021, she took to social media to reveal she has no plans to have children. Okay, Oprah. She wrote, "I never wanted kids and I don't want to be pregnant. If one of your gender can convince me one day, then perhaps. But it rests at a firm 99.9% no chance at this moment." Wait a minute, where's my sound effect?
Bitch, ain't no way.
Right.
Ain't no fucking way.
She says she don't want to do it. Okay. Don't worry about what's in the cup because not just juice. All right. Now, let's get back to the affidavit, shall we? Let's go. Just so y'all know, this is her relationship history, okay? She was lonely. Where is it? Her husband remained in Miami and that she was lonely in Los Angeles. Ms. Taylor then befriended Ms. Farahi. In approximately May of 2016, Ms. Taylor asked Ms. Farahi to meet for a drink in Santa Monica. When Ms. Farahi arrived, she found Ms. Taylor was with an older man.
Enemy spotted.
Fox Sports Executive Vice President of Content, Mr. Dixon. As Executive Vice President, Mr. Dixon was responsible for overseeing all content and production at FS1. Ms. Farahi, however, did not know Mr. Dixon. When Mr. Dixon went to buy them another round of spicy margaritas, Ms. Farahi asked who he was. Ms. Taylor responded that he was just a friend. Would they say he's just a friend? Would they say he? Okay. Following that night, whenever Ms. Farahi would meet with Ms. Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Ms. Taylor or show up later that night and leave with Ms. Taylor. Now, most of you, any of you with half a brain, from the old school that understands what's going on in the world, Y'all understand what's going on, right? Let me read that one more time. Whenever Miss Farahi would meet with Miss Taylor for drinks or food, Mr. Dixon would either arrive with Miss Taylor or show up later that night and leave with Miss Taylor. He would always buy rounds of drinks and or food. From their body language, Miss Farahi suspected that the pair were sleeping with each other. And although this concerned Miss Farahi, as she knew Miss Taylor was recently married, Miss Farahi kept her opinions to herself. Now,
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
let me humor me, y'all. She was married, okay? Let me go back to it. Joy Taylor. She was married to this guy right here, Earl Watson. All right? And then what she does is he's in, somewhere else doing his job. Joy Taylor is trying to get on with FS1 right now. She's a stand-in, all right, doing odd jobs. And what happens is Farahi gets in the mix and peeping game. Joy Taylor is sleeping with the freaking exec.
Yeah, bitch. Yeah, bitch.
Let's get back to it, y'all. Y'all see it, right? I'm putting it together. I'm trying to help y'all put it together now. Let me scroll down a little bit here more. 22. Hope y'all keeping up. In approximately June 2016, while at work, Ms. Farahi noticed Mr. Dixon, in the elevator. Surprised by the coincidence, Ms. Farahi found Ms. Taylor and told her excitedly this guy who always buys our drinks was in the elevator. Ms. Taylor quickly silenced Ms. Farahi, explaining who he was. Ms. Farahi became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that such a relationship was unsafe. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. Ms. Farahi continued to be friends with Ms. Taylor, but tried to distance herself as she considered the situation dangerous as well as morally wrong, as Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon were both married. Okay, all right. Y'all still here now, right? Joy Taylor was allegedly messing around with Mr. Dixon, okay? Ms. Farahi picks up on it. She tells Joy, hey, look, I don't know if you want to do this because, this is, fraternization, all those kind of things that they talk about in the workplace that's frowned upon. Joy Taylor said, don't worry about it. It's okay, man. I got this, all right? Don't worry about it. And so Ms. Farahi stays friends with her, but at the same time keeps her distance because she doesn't want the blowback from when this thing, catches fire, because eventually it will. All right? All right. And by the way, Mr. Dixon is also married, okay? In approximately July of 2016, let me go, make sure we still here, 23. In approximately July of 2016, word spread amongst Fox employees about the new show that was going to be a big deal, as if it would star Mr. Bayless and Shannon Sharp, Mr. Sharp. It was known that Fox was looking for a woman with significant TV experience to also star. Therefore, it came as a surprise when Fox announced that Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little TV experience, would be the moderator of the new show, a sports debate program, Skip and Shannon Undisputed. Okay, I'm gonna read that one more time, y'all. Hey, if you don't mind, I don't know, can y'all hit the like button? If y'all still here, please hit the like button. It would be greatly appreciated. As I said before, it'd be greatly appreciated. Y'all can please hit the like button. All right. Okay. Now, as it says right here, they were looking for somebody with significant TV experience to also star, to be the moderator. Said Joy Taylor, Miss Taylor, who was a bartender and radio host in Miami with very little experience. Remember, she was a stand-in to be a moderator on the show The Herd with Colin Cowherd. All right? So she didn't really have a lot of TV experience, a lot of media experience. But somehow she got named as the moderator for this brand new show with this legendary guy, Skip Bayless, and this athlete, Shannon Sharp. And they're wondering, how could she get the job? And she wasn't qualified. Now, you remember when she was on the show how Skip Bayless and how Shannon Sharp was sometimes like, getting to arguments with her because she was over talking or she was always trying to put her opinion in on a particular topic. Sometimes she would go off script and go to, the woman first thing and all that kind of stuff when depending on what the issue was, depending on what they were talking about. So, yeah, she wasn't qualified. And now that we see this affidavit, we know why they were butting heads with her, because she wasn't qualified to be a moderator in the first place. But somehow she got the job, right? Let's keep going. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Mr. Farahi. Hold on. Mr. Bayless later disclosed to Ms. Farahi that he did not want Ms. Taylor on the show, but Mr. Dixon was adamant that Ms. Taylor should star. At first, Mr. Dixon arranged a dinner between Mr. Bayless and Ms. Taylor, where she arrived in provocative clothing and acted in a provocative manner. When that did not change, Mr. Bayless' opinion of Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon asked him to approve of her as a favor to him. Reluctantly, Mr. Bayless agreed to do so as a favor to his friend. Okay. Are you still with me here? Now, she wasn't qualified. Mr. Dixon has a dinner with Mr. Bayless to talk about who the moderator is going to be. Mr. Dixon says, hey, Skip, I want Jordan to have this role because they've been messing around, right? Skip is like, no, I don't want her. Mr. Dixon says, hey, man, I insist. As a favor to me, would you allow her to host this show? So Skip didn't want her on the show. But Mr. Dixon twisted Skip Bayless' arm. He said, okay, I'll do it. So not only Skip, who was the main guy in this lawsuit, was trying to get at Farahi, but Mr. Dixon was also doing his own thing behind the scenes with Joy. I mean, this is a whole big old tango web. You see this? All right. Hold on. Sorry, y'all got some sound issues, but I don't want y'all to hear all the grunting and all that kind of stuff, right? Around August 2016, Ms. Farahi attended a dinner with Ms. Taylor and her husband, and Mr. Dixon and his wife. During the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband became suspicious that Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon were having an inappropriate relationship. Soon after the dinner, Ms. Taylor's husband found the evidence of inappropriate relationship and divorced Ms. Taylor. All right, now, let me go back here. See this? Ms. Taylor's husband found evidence of the inappropriate relationship and divorce. Now, let's go back to the article. Go back here. Let me scroll back up, okay? My forever. Just over a year later, the couple split in November of 2019, but it is unclear why. Are you following me here? Are you following me here? It's unclear why. Well, as you can see here, the affidavit makes it very clear why Mr. Earl Watson divorced Joy Taylor, because he found out that she was having hanky-panky with the executive. They went to dinner one day, and he found out about it. And then they got divorced. In approximately September of 2016, Undisputed starts that Ms. Taylor requests that Ms. Farahi do her hair. In approximately November of 2016, after not allowing anyone to touch his hair, Mr. Bayless also requested that Ms. Farahi do his hair. Okay, now this is where the harassment of Ms. Farahi comes into play. Let's go. Mr. Dixon grossed Ms. Farahi after putting her on Undisputed. On January 14th of 2017, Ms. Taylor had her birthday party at Pearl's Rooftop in West Hollywood. Ms. Farahi and other Fox employees who were invited attended as it was part of their job duties to appease talent, and a birthday party is an important event. Understand, it's a birthday party, but it's still a company event. Got it. As usual, Mr. Dixon was heavily drinking and buying drinks for everyone on a Fox credit card and blustering that everything purchased was on Fox's dime. Of course, he was out there flaunting his credit card, right? We get it. As Miss Farahi was standing near the bar facing the crowd, Mr. Dixon approached her. He asked the bartender for a drink and then placed his arms on Miss Farahi's lower back. He asked how she was doing, if she was having fun, and if she wanted a tequila shot. Miss Farahi felt very uncomfortable by his unsolicited touching and responded, "No, thank you." Mr. Dixon then moved his hand lower and started rubbing her body and grabbing her buttocks. Miss Farahi was mortified but quickly thought to fake an incoming call to escape from the situation. Now, Mr. Dixon not only is messing around with Joy Taylor, but now he's trying to make the move on Miss Farahi. Now, he's drunk. He is, I guess, acting as the predator at this moment of sorts, thinking that, well, okay, we're all having fun, right? But Miss Farahi's not with it. He tries to make a move on her buttocks, and she thinks fast in order to get out of the situation before it gets any worse, which was good on her part. Okay? Wow. Let's continue. Miss Farahi did not know who to turn to, but as she knew Miss Taylor was sleeping with Mr. Dixon, she turned to her. Okay. So she didn't know what to do, but she knew that Miss Taylor was messing around with Mr. Dixon, so she turned to her to tell her, hey, yo, dude is messing with me, or trying to make a move on me, an unwanted move on me. Surprisingly, Miss Taylor responded to get over it and explain that she herself only had her job because of Miss Dixon. Okay. Miss Taylor responded to get over it and explained that she herself only had her job because of Mr. Dixon and that Miss Farahi only had her job because Miss Taylor requested her. She warned that Mr. Dixon could take both away. So she essentially told Miss Farahi to get over it, shut up, because I got my job because of him and you got your job because of me because of him. So if you blow the whistle on this, we're both out of a job. Now, Miss Taylor was doing this at will. Miss Farahi was not at will to do this. Miss Farahi was being harassed. Now, again, you might be thinking, well, one person's harassment is another person's, fun time, right? And that's exactly what's going on. Mr. Dixon, Joy Taylor made a conscious decision to use her sexuality, if you will, to get ahead. Now, there are a lot of people out there that are calling Joy Taylor right now the next Mrs. Harris. I'll let you decide on what that means, right? But what's going on is Joy Taylor telling her, look, you about to mess up a good thing I got going on here, so I need you to chill. All right, don't worry about it. Get over it. As she said, Miss Farahi was terrified and then turned to her coworker, Anonymous, to discuss the situation. Anonymous responded that Mr. Dixon was disgusting and that the entire situation was sick, but that it wasn't shocking given Fox culture and that Miss Farahi should remain quiet if she wanted to keep her job as a single mother who needed the job to support her son. Miss Farahi had no choice but to remain silent. Now, this is where it kind of gets a little dicey as well, because now they're saying, well, look, let me rephrase. She was forced to deal with the situation because she was a single mother. She had responsibilities. And she didn't know what she was going to do outside this job. So she had to deal with the situation. She had to cope with it, which makes the work environment highly toxic. See that? Let's keep going. Again, thank you if you're watching. Please hit the like button if you're in the live chat right now. I don't see anybody in the live chat, which is okay. But if you're watching right now, please hit the like button. That'd be very much appreciated, okay? 7 years later, in 2023, Miss Peretti told Miss Farahi that she did not like her nor anything about Undisputed. Miss Peretti explained that she had already scheduled someone for her on Undisputed, when Miss Dixon called her and told her that she must put Miss Farahi on Undisputed full time. Okay. All right. Told Miss Farahi that she did not like her or anything about Undisputed. Expanded that she had already scheduled someone for her on Undisputed, Mr. Dixon called her and told her she must put Miss Farahi on it. So this lady, Miss Peretti, didn't want Miss Farahi on it no more. But here comes Mr. Dixon again. Says that she got to keep her on full time. And this is in an attempt for Mr. Dixon to get closer to Miss Farahi by saying, you know what? I don't care what you say, Miss Peretti. This is your stylist. Deal with it. Miss Peretti told Mrs. Farahi that I didn't like that. That's not how things should be done. Miss Farahi was stunned and devastated as if she prides herself on her work and earning her accolades. Later that day, while thinking about her career, she was angry that Miss Peretti succumbed to Mr. Dixon's request as it gave Mr. Dixon the feeling that he could grope her for giving her a job. Know, you see what's going on here, right? Miss Farahi didn't want to work for somebody that didn't want to work for her. That's pride. And I totally understand it. If you don't want me to know you're a stylist, cool. But Mr. Dixon kept her on, which I'm sure goes against Miss Farahi's principles. And now you got bad blood with this lady, Miss Peretti, and it's not even like that. But Mr. Dixon is, again, creating an even larger toxic work environment. Here we go. Mr. Dixon gets rid of a female talent member for refusing to sleep with him. Several years into Miss Farahi's tenure at Fox, a female talent member, Anonymous, hired Miss Farahi to do her hair at her house for an award show. Anonymous asked that Miss Farahi meet her for lunch first. There, Anonymous told Miss Farahi that she would no longer be with Fox, as Mr. Dixon told her that she would need to have sex with him if she wanted to renew her contract. But she had refused. Here we go with the quid pro quo. Anonymous further conveyed that Mr. Dixon was doing this to other women talent. She should warn Miss Taylor to be careful, and talk show host had recently reported to Mr. Dixon. Okay. So, again, we got quid pro quo here. He fired a host or a news personality because he wouldn't sleep with her. She wouldn't sleep with him. And she has warned Miss Farahi that, look, Joy better be careful, because the moment that she cuts off her little fun time with Mr. Dixon, she's going to be next. Which, of course, Mr. Dixon can't do that at this point, probably because now Joy Taylor has all this stuff on this guy. But I'm sure she's keeping receipts. So Mr. Dixon doesn't know it yet, but he's too far into this to cut Miss Taylor out, to cut Joy out. Following the lunch, 33, Miss Farahi called Miss Taylor to convey what Anonymous had stated. Miss Taylor responded that no one gives a F. Say again. Miss Taylor responded that no one, Miss Taylor responded that no one gives a F about Anonymous or the talk show host who had reported Mr. Dixon. Miss Farahi later observed that Miss Taylor's remark appeared accurate, as no action were taken to address the concerns raised. If it was not already apparent, it became even more clear that Fox enabled high-ranking individuals to abuse their authority, exerting undue control over female talent and employees. Boy. Fear permeated the workplace as stories of mistreatment circulated. As one example, Mr. Dixon deliberately assigned a female talent member who had been harassed and reported it to a show set up to fail. I wonder what show was that. I'll leave y'all to think about that in the comment section in the live chat. When the show inevitably failed due to his sabotage, he used its failure as justification to terminate her employment. In another instance, a coworker who frequently cried in the hallway due to relentless harassment was fired just 1 week after reporting it. These repeated incidents reinforced an atmosphere where speaking up seemed futile and dangerous. Now, that type of retaliation, okay, and I forgot the other word for it. We used to use it in the military all the time, but essentially it's saying, you know what, if you speak up, you get punished. And in the military, that was a one and done thing. You couldn't do nothing like that, okay? You get court-martial, stuff like that. So you mean to tell me, wow. So he was just blatant with it. Okay. Well, let's continue. Mr. Bayless begins to give Miss Farahi lingering hugs and kisses on the cheek while putting his body against hers and pressing against her breast assists. All right, 35. After the reporting by the talk show host fell on deaf ears, Mr. Bayless began requesting that Miss Farahi give him a haircut once a week in the makeup room. Miss Farahi did as she was told, and Miss Peretti required Miss Farahi to give haircuts to talent. Initially during the haircuts, Mr. Bayless would discuss his life, his work at Fox, and other unconscious matters. However, soon after the weekly haircut started, Mr. Bayless began finding excuses to touch Miss Farahi. He would give her lingering hugs after each haircut, putting his body against her own, pressing against her breast. He then began to kiss her on the cheeks, plural. Miss Farahi was uncomfortable by the physical contact and would make excuses to leave right after the haircuts, i.e., I need to pick up my son from school. So he began to get more touchy-feely with every encounter with her after the haircuts. 36. Approximately summer 2017, while Miss Farahi was giving Mr. Bayless a haircut, he told her that she was, quote-unquote, voluptuous. Well, I mean, can't disagree with that. As an English teacher, as English is her second language and she was not familiar with the word, Miss Farahi asked what that meant. Mr. Bayless seemed amused and told her to figure it out. Miss Farahi later asked a coworker what the word meant and was mortified. Well, she found out what it meant, huh? And she probably felt like most professionals that it was highly inappropriate. Mr. Bayless then started being more aggressive and direct in his advances. Miss Farahi continuously declined, stating that she did not date at work as she is a single mom and needed her job. 37. Miss Farahi was terrified and then turned to her coworkers to discuss the situation. Here we go again, trying to talk to the coworker, and they're not listening, or there's nothing they can do about it. The two decided that because of Mr. Bayless was a powerful man at Fox and protected powerful men, as in Mr. Dixon's actions were openly known about but ignored, it would only be to her detriment to report the issue. The two decided that Miss Farahi needed to be kind toward Mr. Bayless or risk her job. As a single mother who relied on her job to support her son, Miss Farahi felt she had no choice. So essentially, because nobody was doing anything about what was going on anyway, if she said something, well, there might be repercussions, right? So she just, unfortunately, had to deal with it. Ms. Farahi has her hours cut after going on medical leave. In approximately November 2017, Ms. Farahi hurt her back at work, couldn't move for nearly 40 days, and received workers' compensation. In approximately December of 2017, when Ms. Farahi returned from her work leave, she was not provided her full-time schedule and learned from a coworker that Ms. Peretti had promised her shifts to someone else. Now, remember, Ms. Peretti didn't want her in the first place, so that was an excuse to cut her hours and essentially get rid of her or, push her out slowly but surely. Ms. Farahi called her union for help. Her union informed her that Ms. Peretti's actions would be illegal under the law. Ms. Farahi then called Human Resources, HR, who confirmed that she was entitled to her pre-leave schedule. On January 5th of 2018, Ms. Peretti called Ms. Farahi into her office. When Ms. Farahi arrived, an individual from Human Resources was present. Here we go. Trying to set her up. And Ms. Peretti was falsely explaining that Ms. Farahi did not want her full-time schedule. Ms. Farahi grew upset and explained that she did want her full-time schedule and further explained that Ms. Peretti had been treating her poorly for years. Ms. Farahi then had multiple meetings with Human Resources where she explained that Ms. Peretti yelled at her, made fun of her, and bullied her. Ms. Peretti told Ms. Farahi that she did not like her and could fire her at any time. So Ms. Peretti also already not liking her, used her injury as an excuse to cut her hours. Then she even called HR in and tried to lie in Miss Farahi's face, saying that she didn't want her hours when she clearly did. And then after that didn't work, she just made the work environment even more toxic and saying, no, I can fire you, I can get rid of you at any time. Essentially putting her career in grave jeopardy. From Ms. Farahi's perspective, there was no resolution after these conversations as she was never informed of any sort of conclusion or action taken on Fox's part. Here we go. Man, wow. Ms. Farahi remains undisputed and is asked to also join the herd. In approximately summer of 2018, Ms. Taylor was moved from undisputed to the herd with Colin Cowherd. Ms. Taylor again requested Ms. Farahi to do her hair. Colin Cowherd also requested Ms. Farahi to do his hair. Thus, every day, Ms. Farahi would do Mr. Bayless' haircut for undisputed and would do Ms. Taylor and Mr. Cowherd's hair for the herd. Throughout her entire tenure at Fox, Mr. Cowherd was professional and respectful to Ms. Farahi and her co-workers. So Mr. Cowherd was cool. He was good. Around this time, after learning of Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon's sexual relationship, Ms. Taylor's then fiance broke off the engagement and threatened, okay, wait a minute. So I was wrong about the other guy, but he still found out. Okay? So, yeah. Y'all see what's going on here, right? I got to catch up because I was talking about the other guy before, but really this guy right here, this was her fiance, right? They broke up in 2019, so that coincides with this. 2018 summer, they did the hair, okay, blah, blah. Around this time, after learning of Ms. Taylor and Mr. Dixon's sexual relationship, Ms. Taylor's then fiance broke off the engagement and threatened to go public with all he knew on information and belief that Mr. Dixon paid for the wedding deposits and in an informal exchange for her fiance's silence. So he essentially paid off the fiance not to say anything. See that? This guy, Mr. Dixon, is a bad boy. And I don't mean that in a good way either. Mr. Diaz racially and sexually harasses Ms. Farahi. On May 10, 2019, Bobby Diaz, the individual who pushed the microphone on the talent, mocked Ms. Farahi for her pronunciation of the English words and sexualized the way she was eating fruit. Ms. Farahi did not respond. She just kept her eyes glued on the monitor playing Undisputed. Ms. Peretti was present and did not do anything. So this woman got harassed by Mr. What's his name? The other guy, the exec, then gets harassed by Skip, and now getting harassed by this guy, Mr. Diaz, who is the microphone guy. This is crazy. On information and belief, Mr. Diaz openly gropes, harasses, and is inappropriate with women at Fox. On information and belief, Mr. Diaz has not been fired, reportedly due to his role in supplying... Oh, boy. Okay, the plot thickens. On information and belief, Mr. Diaz has not been fired, reportedly due to his role in supplying narcotics to numerous Fox employees and talent, even after an incident where he removed his pants live on camera? Yo. Oh, by the way, hey, Cortez, what's up, man? What's going on? I ain't seen you in a minute, bro. What's good with you? Let me see. Can I put that on there? Okay. Well, I see you, bro. My bad. I got you, man. Thank you. Thank you for being here, man. Thank you for being here. Okay. On information and belief, in December of 2024, after Ms. Farahi sent notice of this impending lawsuit to Fox, Mr. Diaz made a mockery of his discussions with human resources regarding his interactions with Ms. Farahi. He told various employees that Ms. Farahi was stupid, defiantly stated that despite being told not to speak about his actions with human resources, he didn't care, saying, "Who gives a S?" He further boasted that he would never be fired. Ooh-wee. Okay. All right. So again, she's now been harassed by 3 different people. She's been harassed by Mr. Dixon, Mr. Bayless, and now Mr. Diaz. Oh, by the way, being mocked by her boss, Ms. Peretti, and others. Here's where Ms. Taylor also gets put on another show using her box to get the bag. Okay? Ms. Taylor again used her sexuality to get on a show. Again, hey, y'all, if you're here, please hit the like button. It would be greatly appreciated. Also, like I said, if you want to donate to the channel, you can hit the Ko-Fi link. It's pinned to the top of the live chat. You can also hit me on Mr. Normie, $ Mr. Normie on the Cash App, or you can send a Trooper Super Chat, or even you can join the channel membership for just $5 a month. I want to start doing members-only content. Thank you in advance, all right? In approximately February of 2020, Ms. Taylor asked Ms. Farahi to meet her for lunch in Beverly Hills. When Ms. Farahi arrived, she found Ms. Taylor with a man, Emmanuel Acho. Ms. Farahi did not know Mr. Acho, but could tell that the two were romantically involved. A few months after meeting Mr. Acho at the lunch, Ms. Farahi noticed him in the hallway while at work. Ms. Farahi later asked Ms. Taylor if Mr. Acho also worked for Fox. Ms. Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her on the show Speak for Yourself. Ms. Farahi became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same damn time. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? I'm going to read it one more time. Mr. Farahi, here we go. Ms. Farahi later asked Ms. Taylor if Mr. Acho worked at Fox. Ms. Taylor confirmed and explained that she wanted Mr. Acho to eventually recommend her for on the show Speak for Yourself, which is now called Speak. I've done reactions to a lot of their content. Ms. Farahi became alarmed and warned Ms. Taylor that she should probably not sleep with Mr. Dixon and Mr. Acho at the same time, as Mr. Dixon is a very powerful man that may become very angry. Ms. Taylor told her not to worry about it. Once again, told her not to worry about it. So she got it, right? She explained that she was also now powerful, and once Mr. Dixon was no longer useful to her, she would follow through on her plan to tell the company that he forced himself on her. Oh my God! I'm starting to hit y'all with these clue bombs, all right? But mind you, now Joy has been with Fox since before Undisputed, right? Undisputed started in 2016 September. Joy Taylor has probably been with this network since what? 2014, 2015. Since she left Miami as a bartender and a radio host. Okay? So now this is going on September 2000. So this is going on now, 2022. She's gone from being a fill-in on the Cowherd Show to being on Undisputed with the top guys, Shannon Sharp and Skip Bayless. Now going back to Colin Cowherd on his show, being a moderator and a host. And now she's getting on with Speak. Okay? So now she's got seniority, she's got clout, she's got tenure at Fox. So now she's telling her, you know what? It don't matter. Because not only do I have power, but I can also put Mr. Dixon in a pinch if he tries to stop me. Okay? Now remember, like I said, it's going to backfire on Mr. Dixon. Because again, what can he do now? You've been sleeping with her for years. And you were also married. So essentially, Joy Taylor could mess his spot up. So he can't do nothing about it anyway. And now, here we go. And she done flipped the script on you now. Now she done turn tables. Okay? Wow. She would not allow herself to be forced out by Mr. Dixon like other women talent. And, well, she would probably not be. 50. In approximately September 2020, Ms. Taylor started to work on Speak. Ms. Taylor requested Ms. Farahi do her hair. In Approximately 2020, Jane Doe, an employee at Fox, began demonstrating erratic behavior. One night at an informal dinner at Mastro's Steakhouse, she grew irrationally enraged with Miss Fahey and screamed, "F you, you Persian B." The dinner ended after Miss M broke a glass and threatened to harm herself. So some woman, Jane Doe, was acting crazy and then assaulted Miss Farahi. Following the dinner, Miss Farahi's co-worker, Anonymous, who was black, reported the incident to Human Resources, explaining that she would not be okay with someone calling her a black bee. Anonymous also had Miss Farahi report the incident to Miss Peretti. Despite these reports being anonymous, Miss M learned of the reports and became increasingly unstable toward Miss Farahi. Every single morning, Miss M would scream and throw things at Miss Farahi. Wow. Approximately 6 months later, Miss Farahi told Human Resources that she believed her life was in danger. Human Resources responded that Miss Farahi should just leave the workplace when Miss M was having an episode. So you're saying we're not going to do anything about her. We're just going to tell you to leave until she's done, right? That's not any kind of advice. After approximately a year and a half, Miss M was fired. Miss M's ex-boyfriend and producer at Fox shared that Human Resources gave Miss M a large amount of money in severance. Miss Farahi wondered why Fox rewarded her bully with money. That's a good question. Human Resources eventually apologized to Miss Farahi, explaining that they did not have experience with mental health issues. Human Resources offered Miss Farahi free therapy. Miss Farahi declined free therapy because she's not the one that needs it. The other lady did. But began to seek an independent therapist once a week to discuss her life at Fox. Miss Farahi continues to see the same therapist today. Now, this is the part I want to get to right here, and then I'm probably going to shut this stream down here very soon because I'm a Norman and I have to go to work here in a few hours, okay? But this is the icing on the cake, if you will, because we've already talked about Acho. We've also already talked about everybody else, Skip Bayless. And this is the part that everybody was talking about that I guess is so egregious. Mind you, Skip Bayless is married. He met his wife, Ernestine, during the time they were on Cold Pizza between 2003 and 2007. They got married in 2016. He's still married to this day. And she even comes on his show, the Skip Bayless Show, on YouTube from time to time here lately because he's probably run out of things to talk about. Here we go. 9K. Miss Farahi believes she has cancer and conveys this to Mr. Bayless in an attempt to stop his advances, only to have him offer her $1.5 million to get the box. 55. Over the years, Mr. Bayless continued to make advances at Miss Farahi, i.e. lingering, hugs, kisses on the cheek, and inappropriate comments that he could change her life if she acquiesced to having sex. Miss Farahi would always make excuses regarding her son, politely change the subject, or make a joke, anything to keep Mr. Bayless appeased and her job safe. In July of 2021, Ms. Farahi developed issues with her left ovary and was advised it could be cancer. With a fourth biopsy scheduled, she explained her situation to Mr. Bayless, hoping that he would take pity on her and cease his advances. Instead, Mr. Bayless told her that he wanted to be with her. Ms. Farahi panicked and began rambling that there were cameras everywhere and that she has a child and that she does not want him. Mr. Bayless then grabbed her hands, began kissing them, and offered her $1.5 million to have sex. Ms. Farahi made excuses to leave. Approximately 1 week later, Mr. Bayless made another advance to Ms. Farahi. Ms. Farahi responded, "Skip, stop, you have a wife." Mr. Bayless responded, "Aren't you Muslim? Doesn't your dad have 3 to 4 wives?" Ms. Farahi responded that her father was deceased, and when Mr. Bayless looked taken aback, she made an excuse to leave. Ms. Farahi's job is threatened because she does not sleep with Mr. Bayless. On April 12th of 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Farahi, "I'm good today." The text meant that he would not be coming in for hair or makeup. On April 13, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Farahi, "I'm not comfortable coming down there. Just do what you need to do. It's okay. Ms. Farahi asked him what's wrong. He replied, same stuff, worse. Ms. Farahi, concerned about her own job, walked to Mr. Bayless' fitting room to see if everything was okay. Mr. Bayless answered the door, and before Ms. Farahi could speak, he began to angrily accuse Ms. Farahi of sleeping with Mr. Sharp. Ms. Farahi tried to explain that she did not have any feelings toward Mr. Sharp and had never slept with him nor any other talent member or employee at Fox. But before she could speak, Mr. Bayless demanded she come to his car after the show. Ms. Farahi responded that she could not come sit in his car as it was inappropriate. Mr. Bayless grew irate and then left. On April 14th of 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Farahi, quote, if you're distracted tomorrow, I'll wait till Monday, but I can't keep doing this. Doing what? Ms. Farahi told him that she was very confused. Mr. Bayless responded, trust me, I'm far more confused. Ms. Farahi then explained over text that she is not sleeping with Mr. Sharp. Mr. Bayless did not respond. So he's confused because he still thinks that this woman is sleeping with Mr. Bayless. Why? Because she wouldn't sleep with him? Wow. On April 15, 2022, Mr. Bayless texted Ms. Farahi, do you still want to do the haircut or just move on? Ms. Farahi responded that she doesn't want to move on from her job and that she will continue doing his hair. On April 16th, 2022, Mr. Bayless called Ms. Farahi. Ms. Farahi did not answer the call because she was scared. She then called him back 10 minutes later. On the call, Mr. Bayless again angrily accused Ms. Farahi of effing Mr. Sharp and said that he could tell from her body language that she was effing him. Ms. Farahi tried to explain that she was kind to all talent and that included laughing and engaging in conversation. She was just talking, right? Ms. Farahi then asked if he was yelling at her because she refused to go to the car. Mr. Bayless answered that she couldn't talk to him like that. Sounds arrogant. Ms. Farahi replied that she could respond however she wanted. Well, that's true. It's a free country. Mr. Bayless then angrily stated that he heard her talk to Mr. Sharp about her for JJ. Mr. Farahi knew this to be untrue and was embarrassed and angry. Ms. Farahi responded that even if she had been dating Mr. Sharp, which she wasn't, it shouldn't matter at all because she only had a professional relationship with Mr. Bayless. Sure, you're right. On April 17th, Ms. Farahi arrived in the makeup room, approximately 12 feet to 30 feet, containing 3 makeup and hair sections. Turned on a recording device, put it on the table, and waited for Mr. Bayless to arrive. In the meantime, 2 of Ms. Farahi's co-workers who were privy to Mr. Bayless' actions went into their other talent members' rooms adjacent to the makeup room to listen to the conversation. Mr. Bayless then arrived in the makeup room for Ms. Farahi to cut his hair in accordance with the regular schedule. Mr. Bayless knew that the makeup room was always recorded and clearly states this room is bugged during their conversation. Mr. Bayless stated that he would hate for her to lose her job, but she can't be doing a big thing with my arch rival. Against her his arch rival, meaning Shannon Sharp. She responded by reiterating that being polite to Mr. Sharp is a part of her job. Mr. Bayless responded, bull crap, bull crap, bull crap. I'm calling bull crap on you. Mr. Bayless then warned that he doesn't want her to lose her job over this. Ms. Farahi responded that she wasn't going to lose her job because she's a great hairdresser. Mr. Bayless responded, I have love for you, and I have for 6 years, and you hurt me, and you are ruining this. Ms. Farahi again responded that she must be polite to all talent. Mr. Bayless then implied that if she stopped requesting her, or that if he stopped requesting her, it would affect her job. Here goes the quid pro quo thing again. Ms. Farahi responded that she is scheduled to work every morning at 5:45 a.m. and that if he would like to get his hair done, he's welcome to sit in her chair. Mr. Bayless continued to threaten her job. Ms. Farahi knew that he was trying to pressure her into having into sleeping with him, but she kept repeating that she was a professional that had to be kind to all talent. Wow. Okay, here's the thumb again. Wow, this is, I want to quit, but this is getting so good. On April 21st, 2022, Mr. Bayless asked Ms. Farahi if Ms. Farahi would come to his home to color his hair, a side job that Ms. Farahi previously would partake in when Mr. Bayless' wife was home. On this occasion, with her therapist's help, she conveyed that she would no longer be going to his home. The following week, Mr. Bayless arrived to the makeup room as if their conversation never happened, but Ms. Farahi remained on edge. Ms. Farahi had worsening nightmares regarding the incidents that took place with Mr. Bayless. Ms. Farahi's therapist started using eye movement desensitization and reprocessing to talk her through her interactions with Mr. Bayless. Wow. Whew, man. You know what? I'm going to leave a link to this affidavit in the description box, y'all. I mean, it only gets worse and worse from here, right? Because it continues to talk about her ethnicity. It says here, Ms. Taylor began insulting Ms. Farahi on her personal professional level. Ms. Taylor began openly mocking Ms. Farahi's English and complaining about Ms. Farahi's humming, an involuntary subconscious coping mechanism for diagnosed PTSD. Ms. Taylor then began stating that she needed a black hairstylist. Wow. So she's getting threatened for her job at every turn. Wow. Okay. Man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man, oh man. Ms. Farahi participates in an internal investigation only to be singled out, taken off speak, and accused of. Again, it just gets worse and worse. So, yeah, y'all see it, man. Joy Taylor, if everything that's in this affidavit is true, you're not a very good woman. Skip Bayless, if this is true, you're even worse than a lot of people thought. And this guy, Mr. Dixon, I don't know if he's still working there, but if he is, he should be fired and brought to task swiftly. Okay? I mean, I didn't get all the way into this. The stuff that I was reading for the first time. It's heavy. It's heavy. All right? So, yeah. But anyway, how y'all doing? Thank you if you're still here. If you're still here, thank you. Okay. This is the first live stream I've done. I want to do more. Okay. Like I said, this is a long topic and I want to approach it like this so I can get all the information out. Again, there's more here that I haven't even gone over. And I'm sure other content creators, because content creators are dicing up all the subjects. So they went from the 1.5 million to the Joy Taylor thing, Undisputed, to the Emmanuel Acho thing, and they can dice this up into many topics. And I'll probably like to do the same, or I might do another live stream depending on what more comes out, all right? But anyway, if you watch, thank you for your viewership. If you hit the like button on your way out, thank you for your viewership, okay? And I'm going to end it right here because I'm a normie and I got to go to work here in a few hours, like I said before. So with that being said, thank you for attending a live stream of Welcome to Normieville, okay? You know me, I'm just a normie out here. I got 9 to 5 like all the rest of y'all. I'm just a normie here to bring you the latest and greatest in sports news, okay? And if you're watching the replay, let me know what you think about this down in the comment section about all this information if you watch the live stream, okay? And hit the like button, share the video on your way out the door. And as always, I will see you on the next video.